Alright, picture this. You wake up, grab your phone, open your feed, and see the headline. Pittsburgh Steelers sign 5 star players to win the Super Bowl. Sounds crazy, right? But today, we're breaking down the insane scenario of what that would look like, who those 5 players could realistically be, how it would change the entire NFL landscape, and what it would mean for the Steelers' chances to actually hoist another Lombardi trophy. So sit back, hit that like button if you love NFL content, and let's dive all the way into this wild, breaking style story. Now, obviously, for this video, we're talking about the Steelers in full-on, we're going all in for a Super Bowl mode. I'm talking about moves that say, we don't care about 3 years from now, we care about this season. So keep in mind, I'm going to walk you through each of these 5-star players, how they fit, why the Steelers would make the move, what they would give up, and what the new depth chart looks like afterward. And trust me, by the time we get to player number 5, Steelers fans are going to be losing their minds, and honestly, the rest of the league is too. Let's start with the most important position in football, quarterback. The first star player on this list is a legit, established, top-tier QB, because be honest, when you talk about winning the Super Bowl, absolutely everything starts there. The Steelers' defense has been good enough to keep this team in games year after year. TJ Watt, Minkah Fitzpatrick, Cam Hayward when healthy, that side of the ball has championship pieces. But offense, quarterback consistency has been the question since late career Big Ben. So, imagine this breaking news alert pops up. Pittsburgh Steelers acquire elite veteran QB in blockbuster trade. Think of a quarterback in that top 8-10 range, someone with proven playoff experience, somebody who can walk into the huddle on day one and command instant respect. The Steelers send a package of high draft picks, a first, maybe another premium pick, and a player, and in return they get that one guy who can elevate George Pickens, get the ball out quickly behind a young offensive line, and actually convert those 3rd and 7s in January in Buffalo and Kansas City, or wherever they need to go. This isn't just a minor upgrade. This is the kind of deal that immediately puts Pittsburgh into you better take us seriously territory. Picture the offense now. That star QB under center, Najee Harris and Jalen Warren behind him, Pickens outside, Pat Freiermuth at tight end. All of a sudden, those contested throws to Pickens actually get there on time, the offense stays on the field, and the defense stays fresher late in games. That's the impact move number 1. Now, if you're going all in for a Super Bowl, you don't stop at quarterback. You surround him. So the second star player the Steelers sign in this scenario is a legit number 1 level wide receiver to pair with George Pickens. Yes, Pickens has the talent to be special, but in today's NFL, almost every true contender has at least 2 high-impact wideouts or an elite wideout plus an elite tight end. So now imagine that next notification, Steelers land star wide receiver in massive free agent splash. This is the kind of wide receiver who can line up in the slot or outside, win one-on-one, run crisp routes, and be that reliable 3rd down and red zone target who complements Pickens' big play ability. What this does schematically is huge. Defenses can't just shade everything to Pickens, they can't double him all game, and they can't stack the box as easily because now there are 2 receivers who can win quickly off the line. This new WR gives your new QB a safety valve when things break down, and suddenly offensive coordinator play calling opens up. More quick game, more RPOs, more formation variety, more stress on defensive backs. Defenders now have to decide, do you roll coverage to Pickens and leave a star wideout one-on-one, or do you play it straight and risk Pickens going over the top? And think about how this trickles down the roster. Your WR3, a role player, suddenly is matched up against CB3s and CB4s. Freiermuth works the middle of the field with a lot more space, Najee gets lighter boxes, and that's how an offense jumps from middle of the pack to top 10. That's star signing number 2. A big-time wide receiver to turn the Steelers into a legitimately scary passing attack. Now here's the thing, you can have the best quarterback and the best receivers in the world, but if your offensive line is getting blown up, it doesn't matter. Steelers fans know this. We've seen stretches where the line has been a problem. Too much pressure, no push in the run game, and your whole offense just looks stuck in the mud. So the 3rd star player the Steelers add in this breaking scenario is a dominant offensive line anchor. Think a premier left tackle or a top-tier interior lineman who immediately becomes the best lineman on the roster. You see the alert, Pittsburgh Steelers sign all-pro offensive linemen to bolster protection. This is one of those guys who walks into the locker room and instantly raises the standard in the trenches. With this move, the Steelers aren't just patching a hole, they're setting a tone. We are going to protect our quarterback, and we are going to run the ball down your throat in January. You put that star lineman on the edge at left tackle. Now your QB's blind side is protected. That gives the offensive coordinator confidence to call deeper developing routes. It lets Pickens and your new star WR work double moves, posts, deep over routes without your QB getting killed. In the run game, pairing that star with a promising young guard or center can be the difference between Najee getting hit in the backfield and Najee getting ahead of steam at 3 to 4 yards past the line of scrimmage. In cold weather playoff games, that matters. It also transforms the identity of the team back into what Steelers football has always been about: physical, tough, smash mouth at the line of scrimmage. Now, so far we've talked about 3 offensive additions: an elite QB, a star wideout, and a top offensive lineman. You might be thinking, wait, the Steelers' identity has always been defense. What about that? Don't worry, because stars 4 and 5 are all about turning this already dangerous defense into something absolutely terrifying. Let's talk about the 4th star player, a lockdown cornerback. Think about it. The modern NFL is all about passing, and when you get into the playoffs, you're going up against elite quarterbacks and elite receivers. Guys like Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, whoever. The Steelers already have pass rush with TJ Watt and help from the other side, but if you can pair that pass rush with a true number 1 corner who can travel with top receivers, everything changes. The breaking news graphic pops up. Steelers sign elite shutdown corner to lead secondary. This is the kind of DB who takes away half the field, who can press, play off, play zone, be physical and run support, and has the swagger to match Steelers culture. With this addition, opposing QBs have to hold the ball a little bit longer because that first read isn't open, and when they hold the ball, TJ Watt and company eat. The pass rush and coverage start feeding off each other. Minkah Fitzpatrick can now move around more, play deeper, disguise coverages, blitz occasionally, because he's not having to cover for weaknesses on the outside as much. Your nickel corner suddenly doesn't have to handle WR1 in the slot every play. Defensive coordinator gets more aggressive, more creative. Press man on the outside, bring pressure, roll coverages late, trap routes, bait QBs into mistakes. That's how you create turnovers, and turnovers in the playoffs swing entire seasons. So star number 4 gives the Steelers the ability to say, we're not just going to try to outscore you, we're going to flat out erase your best option in the passing game. Now we get to the 5th and final star player, and this is where the whole vision comes together. We've got the QB, the weapons, the line anchor, and the shutdown corner. The 5th move is about pure chaos, a defensive front 7 disruptor to partner with TJ Watt. As good as Watt is, and he's one of the best defensive players in football, imagine what happens when offenses can't just slide everything his way. Picture the alert. Pittsburgh Steelers acquire star pass rusher interior disruptor to form dominant duo with TJ Watt. This could be an elite edge rusher on the other side, or a game-wrecking interior defensive lineman who collapses the pocket right up the middle. Either way, quarterbacks now have no safe space. Slide protection to Watt. The other star is one-on-one. Double team inside. Watt is screaming around the edge. Running backs have to stay in to pass protect, which means fewer receivers in the route, which means your new shutdown corner and Minkah can clamp even more. On early downs, this star player also boosts your run defense. Now teams are in 2nd and 9, 3rd and 8 more often, and that's where TJ and his new partner go hunting. Sacks, strip sacks, hurried throws, tipped balls. This is how the Steelers' defense turns into a highlight reel every single week. And think about playoff football. You're going on the road to Kansas City, to Buffalo, to Baltimore. Crowds loud, weather's ugly, and your defensive front is pinning its ears back. Your offense doesn't have to score 35. 24 might be enough because your defense is living in the backfield. With all 5-star players in place, let's step back and visualize what this new-look Steelers team actually looks like and how it matches up with the rest of the league. Offensively, at quarterback, you've got a calm, experienced, top-tier vet who can read defenses, get you into the right play, make clutch throws, and protect the ball. In the backfield, Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren give you a physical runner and a change-of-pace weapon. At receiver, you've got George Pickens, who can win downfield and make spectacular catches, plus your new star wideout, who's a route technician and red zone weapon. Add in a capable WR3 and Pat Freiermuth at tight end, and suddenly there are mismatches all over the field. The offensive line, led by your new all-pro level lineman, has a clear identity: protect the QB, move bodies in the run game, and play with a nasty edge. No more constant breakdowns, fewer drive-killing penalties, better time of possession. An offense like this can actually sustain 10 to 12 play drives, wear down a defense, and finish in the red zone instead of settling for field goals. Defensively, your front seven features TJ Watt and another star pass rusher or interior disruptor, supported by relentless role players who benefit from all the attention those two draw. Your linebackers can play more downhill because the big men up front are controlling gaps. On the back end, your star shutdown corner follows the opposing WR1. Minka roams as an enforcer and ball hawk, and the rest of the secondary is in clearly defined roles that play to their strengths instead of asking them to do too much. This unit doesn't just keep you in games, it actively wins you games. Strip sacks, pick sixes, short fields for the offense. That's the type of defense that brings back memories of classic Steelers eras. Now, how would this hypothetical all-in Steelers roster fare against the top teams in the AFC? Let's talk matchups. Against Kansas City, you need pass rush and coverage. In this scenario, you've got both. You've got two elite rushers, a shutdown corner, and Minka. You're never going to completely stop Mahomes, but you can frustrate him, hit him, make him settle for field goals, and maybe steal a possession with a timely interception. Offensively, your upgraded line and star QB can actually answer back and put pressure on the Chiefs' defense. Against Buffalo, playing in the elements, that improved run game and offensive line matter a ton. You can run the ball, shorten the game, and your pass rush can make Josh Allen play hero ball, which leads to those turnover opportunities. Against Baltimore, it turns into a physical slugfest. Your improved offensive line plus Najee gives you a chance to play Steelers-style football. Defensively, having that extra front seven star helps contain the run game and pressure Lamar, while the corner plus Minka try to eliminate explosive plays. Cincinnati with Joe Burrow, that's where the pass rush plus lockdown corner really shine. You create just enough disruption to force field goals instead of touchdowns. The big narrative here is this. With these 5-star additions, the Steelers go from a tough, scrappy team that can maybe sneak into the playoffs and scare somebody to a fully legitimate Super Bowl contender, where the question isn't, can they make the playoffs? But, can anyone stop them once they're in? Now, let's be real for a second and talk about what it would actually cost to make something like this happen. Because you don't just sign or trade for 5 stars without paying a big price. In a real-world scenario, this would mean massive salary cap gymnastics, restructuring contracts, potentially letting go of some familiar names, and giving up a boatload of draft picks. You'd be sacrificing some of your future flexibility. But teams have done this before. We've seen the Rams go all in, trading picks for stars, and they ended up with a Super Bowl ring. We've seen teams like Tampa Bay load up around Tom Brady in one offseason and immediately win it all. The all-in blueprint is not fantasy. It's just rare and risky. The Steelers traditionally have been a more patient draft and develop organization. They value stability, culture, and long-term planning. So for them to flip the switch and go full all-in like this would be a massive philosophical shift. It would send a clear message to the locker room and the fan base. We believe our window is now, and we are willing to do whatever it takes. So, would it work? With a truly elite QB, a star wideout, a dominant offensive lineman, a shutdown corner, and another defensive front superstar alongside TJ Watt, you'd have to put the Steelers in that top Super Bowl contender tier. Not just dangerous, not just a tough out, but legitimately right up there with Kansas City, San Francisco, and any other powerhouse you want to name. The margin for error in the NFL is tiny. A tipped ball here, a missed kick there, an injury, and your season can swing. But when you load your roster with that many difference makers, you give yourself more ways to win. You can win a 17-14 defensive slugfest. You can win a 34-31 shootout. You can lean on your run game in bad weather. You can lean on your QB in a 2-minute drill. That's what championship teams look like. So imagine it. Week 1, the cameras pan over the Steelers sideline. You see your new star quarterback, your new WR, your elite lineman, your shutdown corner, your new pass rush partner for TJ Watt, and you realize this isn't just the same old team. This is a version of the Pittsburgh Steelers that has clearly pushed all their chips into the middle of the table. And if you're a Steelers fan, you're thinking, we're not just here to compete, we're here to win it all. Let me know in the comments, which 5 specific players would you pick for the Steelers to add if they were going all in like this? Name your dream QB, WR, OL, CB, and front 7-star, and tell me why. Do you think this kind of aggressive Super Bowl or bust approach fits the Steelers' identity, or do you prefer the slow, steady draft and develop strategy? If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit that like button, subscribe for more NFL breakdowns, and make sure you turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.